The courtroom doors have finally closed on one of the most bizarre and twisted sagas surrounding Melody Shari, a woman who has fought for her peace, her name, and her dignity for years now. After enduring endless attacks, lies, and harassment, Melody has officially walked away victorious in a defamation lawsuit filed by a blogger whose obsession with her spiraled far beyond normal behavior. This isn't just a win in a legal sense. This is a win for truth, for accountability, and for every public figure who has been targeted by those who think they can say anything online without consequence. For a long time, this story has been boiling under the surface. Many people have seen bits and pieces on social media, posts, rumors, videos, but few truly understood how deep the situation ran. It all started with what seemed like simple admiration. A blogger, known by the initials AL, once appeared to be a fan of Melody. He followed her every move, engaged on her live streams, and even reached out to her in private messages, expressing excitement about visiting places she mentioned or frequenting restaurants she liked in Huntsville. At first, it seemed harmless, a supporter showing interest, but slowly, that admiration took a dark turn. According to people who watched the situation unfold, what began as fandom became obsession. Melody, being the kind and encouraging person she is, showed support for his desire to create content. She motivated him, told people to follow his page, and gave him exposure he didn't have before. She did this out of kindness because that's who Melody is. She often helps others rise, especially those trying to better themselves. But unfortunately, that kindness was met with manipulation. When Melody decided to distance herself and not continue any form of friendship or communication, that rejection seemed to unleash something dangerous. From there, everything changed. The same person who once praised Melody began to turn against her. His videos became darker and filled with bitterness. He began making allegations about her, attacking her character, and even dragging her family into the mess. Her mother, her brother, and anyone connected to her became targets. He even tried to insert himself into her inner circle by contacting people close to her, like her manager and her makeup artist. It went beyond YouTube content. It became a pattern of invasive and obsessive behavior. For months, Melody kept quiet. She didn't respond. She didn't feed the negativity. She has always been known for her grace, her composure, and her ability to rise above drama. But there comes a point when silence is no longer peace, it's pressure. And Melody had reached that point. After seeing the blogger's repeated lies and defamatory claims, Melody finally addressed the issue publicly on Instagram Live. She didn't come out of nowhere. She was responding to months of abuse. Yet some people, mostly those who dislike her, tried to twist that moment and make it seem as if she was the aggressor. But the truth, as always, eventually came to light. Melody spoke directly to the situation. She expressed frustration at being constantly attacked and having her life dissected online. She made a strong statement, not out of malice, but out of defense. She said she was tired of hearing about her children being discussed and exposed in inappropriate ways. She questioned the behavior of the blogger and called out the ongoing harassment. She even asked if there were any mandated reporters on her live and told them to direct message her. That line became the centerpiece of the blogger's lawsuit. He claimed that Melody told her followers to contact his employer to get him fired. But here's the truth. Melody never told anyone to call his job. She never directed her followers to contact his employer. What she said was clear. She simply asked for any mandated reporters on the live to message her privately. That's it. No one was instructed to harass or call anyone. What she did was respond, with composure, to someone who had gone too far. Still, the blogger took that clip, twisted it, and ran with a false narrative. He filed a defamation lawsuit, claiming that Melody's words damaged his reputation and caused him harm. For many, this seemed like an act of retaliation, a desperate attempt to paint himself as a victim after months of him attacking her. And what's more, he even made public claims that Melody had offered him money to settle the matter. A complete lie. The case went to court, and this is where the truth was finally exposed. Multiple witnesses attended the hearing, including well-known commentators like Tea Talk with Your Girl and Queen Sheba, who had also been victims of the blogger's online attacks. They both later shared detailed accounts of what happened in the courtroom, and what they described was both revealing and almost comical in how clearly the truth presented itself. According to their reports, the judge asked the blogger to point out, or underline, exactly where Melody had defamed him. Imagine that moment. The entire courtroom waiting, eyes on him, and the judge asking for clear evidence of defamation. But there was none. There was no proof that Melody ever said or did anything defamatory. That simple request, to underline the supposed defamation, exposed the weakness of his entire case. Witnesses described the atmosphere as almost surreal. Here was a man who had spent months online claiming victory before the court date, telling his followers that Melody had wronged him, that she was the reason for his downfall. Yet, in that courtroom, his story fell apart completely. Every claim he made was denied. The judge ruled in favor of Melody, declaring that the blogger's case held no merit. The decision was final. He lost. The official court order confirmed it clearly. The document stated that after reviewing all testimony and evidence, the court found in favor of the defendant, Melody Shari, and denied all of the blogger's claims. Each party was responsible for their own costs. In simple terms, Melody won. She didn't settle. She didn't pay him a dime. She stood firm, fought back, and proved that truth will always overpower lies. But the drama didn't end there. Before the ruling, the blogger had been telling his supporters that Melody had supposedly offered him a settlement, $4,500, and an NDA to stop talking about her. That story spread fast online, with some people even believing it. But then came the twist. Melody herself directly shut it down, not through a lawyer or a statement, but personally. In the comments of a video discussing the case, a fan had commented about the blogger's claim, saying he told another blogger that Melody offered him money and an NDA, but he declined. The video creator responded, calling it out as nonsense, and then Melody herself stepped in. She commented directly, writing that it was a complete lie. She stated that they didn't offer him anything. Then she added something even more powerful, that it was actually him who reached out to her attorney, asking to sit down and settle. Melody said she refused. She made it clear she wasn't interested in any backdoor deals. She wanted the truth to be shown in court. Her comment read, "That's a lie. We ain't offering ish. But what's interesting is he wrote my attorney asking to sit down to settle, and I said hell no." That one comment completely destroyed the false narrative. It showed once again that Melody doesn't operate in lies or deceit. She stands on truth and principle. Not only that, Melody added another comment clarifying even further. She said she had the blogger's actual email to her attorney, where he was begging to settle. She said she had the receipts, and that sealed the deal. Once those words came directly from Melody, there was nothing more to debate. She had spoken, and the truth was undeniable. The court documents later confirmed what Melody had said all along. The blogger's case was baseless. The final order, dated October 20th, 2025, clearly stated that the judge found in favor of the defendant, Melody Shari, and that all claims by the plaintiff, the blogger, were denied. He didn't just lose, he lost completely. Every allegation, every complaint, every fabricated claim was thrown out. And the irony of it all is almost poetic. This blogger, who spent months trying to tear down Melody's image and convince others he had some sort of upper hand, ended up exposing his own lies. He wanted attention, but what he got was humiliation. He wanted validation, but the truth stripped that away. He wanted to paint himself as a victim, but the court saw right through him. Melody's refusal to settle speaks volumes about her character. She could have easily paid him off just to make the noise go away. Many celebrities do that to avoid drama, but not Melody. She knew she had done nothing wrong. She knew she had been targeted unjustly. And she chose to stand up for herself, not only to clear her name, but to set a standard. Because when you allow lies to go unchallenged, they grow. And Melody made sure to end that cycle once and for all. It's important to remember that this isn't just about one lawsuit. It's about a pattern that many public figures face. When people online feel entitled to speak on someone's life, twist facts, and push false narratives, they rarely expect consequences. But Melody's win sends a message. There are limits. You can't weaponize the internet to destroy someone's reputation and expect to get away with it forever. Throughout this entire situation, Melody handled herself with grace. Even when she was being attacked online daily, she stayed composed. Even when lies were spreading, she didn't jump on social media to rant or argue. She let the truth speak for itself, and when the time came, she let the law back her up. That's what true strength looks like, not reacting emotionally, but standing firm on integrity. Now that the case is over and the dust has settled, many people are finally seeing the reality of who was telling the truth all along. The same individuals who once entertained the blogger's lies have quietly gone silent, because when you're proven wrong in such a public way, there's no defense left. The evidence, the court order, and Melody's own statements make it crystal clear. She was the target, not the aggressor. This case also highlights how dangerous obsession can become. What started as admiration became fixation, and fixation turned into hate. And the saddest part is that it didn't have to be this way. Melody extended kindness to someone who could have built a career the right way. Instead, he chose to attack the very person who helped him. That betrayal says everything about his character. Melody's supporters, affectionately called the Millimeters, have been vocal about their pride in her strength and composure. They've watched her endure betrayal, false narratives, and smear campaigns, yet she keeps moving forward. This court victory isn't just legal, it's emotional. It's vindication after years of public attacks. It's proof that standing up for yourself, even when the world doubts you, pays off in the end. And let's not forget the symbolism behind that court order. The judge's decision wasn't just about evidence, it was about credibility. When someone lies repeatedly and weaponizes social media for personal gain, that pattern speaks louder than any testimony. The court saw through that. The judge recognized the truth and ruled accordingly. Now, as Melody moves forward, this chapter becomes another reminder of her resilience. Time and time again, she's been tested. From personal heartbreaks to public feuds, she's faced it all with strength and grace. And no matter how many people try to tear her down, she always rises higher. For the blogger, this defeat should serve as a wake-up call. Actions have consequences. Lies catch up eventually. And trying to build fame by tearing someone else down never ends well. The internet might allow people to hide behind screens, but when it comes to real-life consequences, the truth always comes knocking. In the end, this situation teaches us something powerful. It shows that no matter how much noise people make online, truth doesn't need to shout. It just needs time. And Melody's win in court is the perfect example of that. She didn't shout. She didn't threaten. She didn't post endless videos defending herself. She waited, she showed her receipts, and she let justice handle the rest. Now, as she celebrates this win, many people are applauding her not just for what she accomplished in court, but for how she handled it all, with dignity, patience, and unshakable strength. Melody's story reminds us that silence doesn't mean weakness. Sometimes, silence is strategy. And when the truth finally speaks, it echoes louder than any lie ever could. This was more than just a case. It was a test of truth versus obsession, reality versus delusion, light versus darkness, and truth won. Melody didn't just defend herself. She defended her name, her family, and every person who's ever been unfairly targeted online. This victory stands as a reminder that people can try to lie, manipulate, and twist narratives, but when you're walking in truth, you'll always come out on top. And as for Melody, she continues to move forward, leading the chaos behind her. She's shown once again that no matter how many people try to dim her light, she'll always shine through.